All right, so for today's lesson, we are going to be talking about parallelograms. And throughout the remaining lessons of this unit, we're going to be talking about different types of quadrilaterals as well. But we're going to start off with parallelograms today. So first off, what is a parallelogram? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral, and a quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides. So polygon with four sides. So it's a quadrilateral. It has four sides with two pairs of opposite parallel sides. So in order to mark our two sides parallel, or two opposite sides parallel, we can use this symbol right here. It's a little like arrow type symbol. So we can say that side is congruent to this side over here. And then this side over here is congruent to this side over here. And then I'm going to label my vertices just so it's easier to talk about. So we'll say A, B, C, and D over here. Okay, so AB is parallel to CD, and BC is parallel to AD. Now, what do we know about opposite sides? Well, opposite sides are congruent. So in a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. So what are opposite sides? Well, that's the same things as the opposite parallel sides. So we could say AB is congruent to DC. And then we could say AD is congruent to BC over here. Now we talk about opposite angles. Opposite angles are angles that are diagonal from each other or across from each other. So when we're talking about opposite angles, those are also going to be congruent in a parallelogram. And we could say that angle A is congruent to, so here's angle A over here. Angle A is going to be congruent to the opposite angle, angle C. And then angle B is going to be congruent to the opposite angle down here, angle D. Now, when we're talking about consecutive interior angles, consecutive angles, we're talking about consecutive interior angles because those consecutive angles are inside parallel lines. So consecutive angles are like angle A and angle D. They're on the same side and they're right next to each other. So we could say that angle A plus angle D equals 180 because they're consecutive interior. We can also say A and B are consecutive interior. So they equal 180. Then we can say B and C are consecutive interior. They equal 180. They're right next to each other inside parallel lines. And then finally, C and D are also consecutive interior and equal 180 degrees as well. So the consecutive angles are supplementary. Which means they add to 180. Okay. Now we have a few properties that we've kind of already discussed, but one or two are new. So opposite sides are parallel. We already stated that. Opposite sides are congruent. We did state that as well. Opposite angles are congruent. We stated that. Consecutive angles are supplementary. That's what we just did. And then finally, diagonals bisect each other. So what does that mean? That means if I draw a diagonal from A to C, and then I draw another diagonal from B to D, those diagonals bisect each other. So that means that this AC is going to be cut in half. And then this one over here is going to be cut in half as well. And then I'm going to name my center. We'll say this is center E. So then I could say, actually, you know what? I don't want to use those because I already used 1 and 2. So I'll say this is my 3, and then this is my 4, since I already used 1 and 2 for my dashes. So then we can say AE is congruent to EC. And, well, actually, we'll say CE. It's a little bit more mathematical. CE. And we could say that DE is congruent to BE because diagonals bisect each other. They cut each other in half, which means each half is equal to each other.